Imagine it's 1975, but instead of helicopters fleeing Saigon, there are victory parades in Washington. The Vietnam War didn't end in defeat. America won, decisively. How? One president, one decision, one military strategy that was never approved. In the next 7 minutes, you'll see how a full invasion of North Vietnam changes everything. A Cold War that ends 10 years early, and an America that never loses its confidence. All because LBJ said yes instead of no. Let's go. It's January 1968. The Tet Offensive just shocked America. General Westmoreland walks into the Oval Office with a plan, a real plan. Mr. President, we can win this war in 12 months, but I need permission to do 4 things. Mine Haiphong Harbor, cut off Soviet supplies, invade North Vietnam directly, and bomb Hanoi without restrictions. In our timeline, LBJ says no. Political pressure, anti-war protests, fear of Chinese intervention. The war drags on for 7 more years. 58,000 Americans die. South Vietnam falls. Here's where it changes. But what if LBJ was different? What if the Tet Offensive made him angrier instead of scared? February 1968. LBJ addresses the nation. We will finish this war. We will win it, and we will win it this year. Operation Thunderstrike begins. B-52s carpet bomb Hanoi. The harbor at Haiphong? Mined. Soviet ships can't resupply North Vietnam. The Ho Chi Minh Trail? Destroyed from the air. March 1968. 100,000 U.S. troops cross the DMZ. Not advisors, not limited engagement. Full invasion. Armor, artillery, air superiority. By June, American forces occupy Hanoi. Ho Chi Minh flees to China. The North Vietnamese army collapses. No guerrilla warfare, no jungle ambushes. This is conventional war. And America is very good at conventional war. September 1969. North Vietnam surrenders. Unconditionally. Immediate consequences. The war is over. But now what? South Vietnam doesn't collapse, it stabilizes. With American military bases staying indefinitely, the South becomes Korea 2.0. Authoritarian but functional. Corrupt but developing. Not perfect, but not communist. American troops stationed in Saigon for decades, just like they did in Seoul, just like they did in Tokyo. The South Vietnamese economy starts growing, slowly. By the 1980s, it's producing textiles, electronics. It's not wealthy, but it's not collapsing either. Now jump to the real consequence. But the biggest change? America itself. In our timeline, Vietnam broke American confidence. The country questioned itself. Protesters, divisions, trust in government collapsed. We lost a war to farmers. That scar stayed. But in this timeline, America won. The protests still happened. The anti-war movement still existed, but after victory, it faded. Here's the crazy part. The Cold War ends early. Nixon visits China in 1972, just like our timeline. But now, he's negotiating from strength. We beat your ally in Vietnam. You saw what happens when you back the wrong side. The Soviet Union? Humiliated. They poured billions into North Vietnam. Weapons, advisors, supplies, and still lost. The Politburo starts questioning everything. When Brezhnev dies in 1982, the reformers take over sooner. No need to wait for Gorbachev. The Soviet system is already cracking. By 1985, the Berlin Wall comes down. Not 1989, 4 years early. The USSR can't sustain the Cold War after Vietnam proved American resolve. Back in America, the 1970s are different. No Vietnam syndrome, no post-war malaise. The economy still struggles with oil shocks and inflation, but the national mood? Confident, proud. Reagan still gets elected in 1980, but his message isn't restore American greatness. It's continue American greatness. The military budget grows even larger. Star Wars program? Funded faster. The 1990s arrive and America stands alone. No rival, no equal. The Soviet Union collapses earlier. China is still developing. America won the 20th century decisively. Walk through modern Saigon, still called Saigon, not Ho Chi Minh City. American fast food chains everywhere. English is the business language. The South Vietnamese flag still flies. It's not a democracy, but it's stable, prosperous. Think Singapore, but less efficient. North Vietnam? Reintegrated by the 1980s under Southern rule. The Communist Party is gone. The generals who survived the war are either in exile in China or dead. Vietnam is unified, but under the South, under capitalism, under American influence.
So what if America won Vietnam? The war ends faster. Fewer American deaths, maybe 30,000 instead of 58,000. South Vietnam survives. The Cold War ends sooner. But here's what we don't talk about: the cost. To win in 1969, America bombs Hanoi directly. Civilian casualties skyrocket. Hundreds of thousands dead. Maybe more. The war is shorter, but more brutal. And America itself? More confident, but also more willing to use force. Without the lesson of Vietnam, without learning that not every war is winnable, does America invade Iraq in 1991 and never leave? Does it go into Afghanistan in 2001 with no exit plan? In our timeline, Vietnam taught America caution. Don't get involved in unwinnable wars. But in this timeline, America learned the opposite. Overwhelming force always wins. So which timeline is better? Unified Vietnam under capitalism, or divided and broken? An America that never doubted itself, or an America that learned limits? There's no right answer, just consequences. That's how the butterfly effect works. In our timeline, America lost Vietnam in 1975, one of the most painful chapters in American history. But from that loss came something unexpected: humility. The understanding that not every battle should be fought. Which timeline is better? Confident power or cautious wisdom?